Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to take pictures and how to get rolling shots properly in GTA Online. Now see, I get this question a lot, is like, how do I make content? How do I take pictures? How do I do, how do I make these pictures that people post on Instagram, and the quality that they have is insane. How do you do it? First thing you want to do is start recording. So you're going to want to go into a GTA session and call out the car that you want and just record. You do that by holding down on the D-pad and pressing A or X depending on what system you're on, and you have to be in third person to access the free camera. If you do record in first person, you will not be able to edit that later on the editor. So once you have that there, make sure it says saved right there in the bottom left. Now for the rolling shots, you're going to want to find a nice smooth surface to drive on, or at least hold the same angle for a good amount of seconds and then record, and make sure you save it like that. So what I did, I just drove straight and just recorded like that and just waited for it to save. Now you're going to want to go into story mode. See, you need story mode, so if you don't have story mode, you will have to purchase it depending on what system you're on. And then you're going to want to put the settings for your graphics and fidelity to get the ray tracing. Now find the clip that you want to edit, make sure you hit it, make sure that it's the right one. You might have to delete some if you haven't really messed with it too much, because it will fill up. If you haven't done this before, you might have clips in there that you didn't know you took, just based on how you play and everything. But make sure that you change it into fidelity instead of performance for pictures wise, because you get the ray tracing, the 4K graphics, etc. So that way it looks really crisp. It won't be too bad if it's vice versa, but first thing you want to do on here is go to depth of field, at least with me, and I do custom, so that way I have a nice real blurred background. I always change the brightness down because I guess this way my system is and how I like to edit later on afterwards. And I like to put the contrast a little bit more down too, and the saturation, to make it a little bit more grayscale. That way I have a little bit more flexibility when editing. And now that you've done that, you can zoom in and hit the free camera on there instead of the game camera, and now you can just remove the UI by hitting the right stick in to make it disappear, so that way you can have a very clear shot. Now see, I'm just moving it around right now, just showing you guys how the blur works and pretty much what shots you could get. And now see, here's one of those shots where I want this, but the depth of field I set on there is on automatic. Turn it on manual, and then you have the distance here to change. That way you can really get the car into the focus. Now see, it was fine before, but if you've seen right there on the back of the spoiler, you'll see that there's a little bit of like a nasty looking blur, and see, you just turn it down just a little bit on intensity and you'll still have that nice light blur there. Nice clean shot for you to go with. And once you do put it on manual, you do have to change it for every position that you move it to. So say I put it in front of this car right here, it's not clear at all, but now since I changed the focus distance, now it'll be all right. And that's pretty much all for taking pictures. When you do that, you're gonna have to screenshot it. Depending on what system you're on, you have to screenshot with PlayStation or Xbox when you take the UI off. Now you want to do the video for the rolling shots. And see, I'll show you how to do all the editing afterwards, but just to get the video down, you want to make sure you hit the clip there. Same thing as the other one. I like to change the the depth of field and the effects. That way I get a nice blur in the background, and that way I can edit later on with like a filter or something like that, so it doesn't really have too much saturation or too much contrast later on in the video. So what you want to do is make sure that you put it on free camera, make sure that you put the move with target on the player, and put it on rigid. Do not put any shake on there because it will mess it up. So now they have it on rigid. Make sure you have the car in focus right there, and now you can just play the clip and you can see how my car is just rolling and rolling and rolling. But you want to find nice smooth surface, so I found it right back here. So I'm looking at, see where my tires don't really bounce up or anything, and then now you just want to move the first marker all the way down. You'll do that by hitting both of your bumpers in and then just dragging it with your right stick. And I will delete that marker there by pressing triangle or Y. And then now I can take off the UI and see exactly where it's smoothest at. So smoothest is right there in the end. Don't worry about it being too long, because you will have to put it, I put it on at least 5% speed. That way it gets a nice smooth rolling shot like this. And you want it to be as smooth as you can. If you're drifting, you want your steering to be in one direction the entire time instead of flicking back and forth like correctioning, just because when you do go to edit, the rolling shot will be in the the direction you're going in. So if you're flicking your steering wheel back and forth, your blur is going to be all over the place instead of how you want it to be. So now that you have this here, make sure that you have the exact angle that you want. You know, make sure that you did all your editing now before later, because after later you won't be able to change it, and it's kind of a hassle to come back all the way in this and repeat the same steps over again. So make sure you have it exactly how you want. Now that you have it there, save it. You can back out of this here, wait for it to save in the bottom. Now you can back out, and you'll want to go to saving first, and then you'll want to go to export. And exporting just essentially puts it, if you're on PlayStation, it'll put it in your media gallery. On Xbox, it just exports it. Xbox is a little different than PlayStation. Now that you have that done, you can back out of this, and you're going to want to upload it to YouTube. Now see, if you're on PlayStation, it just goes straight to your media gallery and you can upload it through there. But if you're on Xbox, you're going to have to upload it through the Rockstar Social Club here. Or you could just save the clip and do it like that too. It just tells you about the sharing policies, blah blah, and etc. like that. And now that it is uploaded there, now you can download it. Okay, so now that you have it on your app, the photo that you took on the editor and you screenshotted, you can save it into your gallery here. Make sure you wait till it says saved. It's the same thing on PlayStation on your app if you have auto uploads. Now you want to get it into Adobe Lightroom. At least that's what I edit with. I have a few presets already ready to go, depending on the picture, depending on the vibe I want to go with it. So you just find the right editing app that you want to use. I just prefer Lightroom because it's easy. And if you buy the full version, you can do the in-depth blur. I won't do it on this one just because it's just, I wanted to just show you the basics here. And boom, there you go. The pictures are done. Save them into your gallery and you're ready to post them, and they're 100% HD right there. So now the next thing I want to show you guys is to download your videos that you uploaded to YouTube onto your phone. This is on iPhone only. I do not know how to use it on Android. Now when you go into Documents 5 app here, or Documents, you're going to want to find a good website to download them on. You can try to find the one that I use here, which is savetube.io. Now the first thing you want to do now is it's going to have a lot of pop-ups, so you're just going to have to deal with it a little bit, is now you can go onto YouTube and find your video that you uploaded. So you go onto your channel here, go into your videos, and you don't have to do it in your main channel. I just do because it's easier. Share, hit the copy link. Now that you copied it, go back into Documents here. Cancel out of any of the pop-ups. The best thing is that it gets rid of pop-ups for you, the ones that are like the websites and everything. And you want to hit download. Make sure you're downloading this at the highest quality. That's what I do. Hit get link. It's going to say converting for a minute, and that's completely fine. Just wait for it to convert, and then after it'll say download it, or you can download it here. Most of the time there's always a pop-up when you hit this, so just cancel out of that. See, that was a pop-up. There's another one. You can also just hit it like this. You can rename it, but I don't really do that. It usually downloads pretty quick depending on your internet. Right there on the bottom. Now where you're going to want to go to inbox and then drag that video out, and you're going to want to drag it into your photo album here. Boom, there you go. It's in your photo albums. Now you want to go to Into Live. This is a different app to edit with, or Live Into. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, Into Live, yeah. And you're going to want to put new project. There's a lot of pop-ups on this too. And you're going to want to find that video that you put onto your gallery there from the other app. You can do it with all your videos too, not just for rolling shots, but this is just for rolling shots here. And you're going to want to find the video here, find the spots that you want, or you can crop it. You can do anything you want to do with it. And once you get done kind of doing some pre-edits on here, I don't really do much on there. I just kind of look around a little bit and see. You're going to want to export it out as a live photo. And depending on if you buy the full version or not, you can get it 4K right there. So it's exporting as a live photo at 1080p at 1920. And once you get that done there, you'll be able to put it into your gallery, on iPhone at least, into your gallery. And then you can change it into a live photo. And then that will give you that type of like motion blur that you want to capture, or the background blur that you want with it. Sorry about the pop-ups, they're just all over. I don't pay for any of these apps. I try to keep it free. And once it's there, boom, it says it's there. Now you want to go into your gallery, hit the photo that you want to edit, boom, there you go. And now you're going to want to crop it and long exposure it. So you hit long exposure, wait for that to load right there, and then you should be just fine. Most of the time it takes a second depending on what it is, and there you go, it's a rolling shot. Now only thing you have to do is just crop it and you're 100% ready to go. Sometimes it takes a minute just because of it. It's completely fine though if it takes a while, so don't trip or nothing. And now that you crop it, throw some edits on in the Lightroom just like I showed you earlier in the video, and you're ready to go. And this is the final product. If this video helped you out at all, just let me know.